What's going on, guys? Ironcane here, back for another Roll the Breakers Season 3 video. Now, technically we're still on the PTS, but Season 3 is coming up slowly but surely. Actually starts June 9th, which is this coming Friday. So with that in mind, I figured why not talk about which skills for the Ginyu Force are the best to level up. So for the Ginyu Force, they actually all share the Scouter. But before you level up the Scouter, I feel like the most important skill to upgrade for this Raider would be, this should be interesting. And the reason why I say that is because this increases the auto-evolve feature. So if you guys don't know, like Cell, this Raider can also auto-evolve as time goes on. But for Cell, it's only when he's level 0, of course, or before he gets his level 2. I mean, when he's level 1, when he's like in the larva state, he auto-evolves to level 2. But the Ginyu Force also has this passive. Now, it's fairly slow at base, but if you upgrade this to 20, you know, this will just mean that you have to take out less civilians, you have to take out less survivors, and if you're someone that really likes to have Goldo passively surveying the map and he dies a lot on you, then this should be interesting. Means that you'll probably don't need, you probably won't need to get all 4 civilians. You probably just be good with 3 and maybe just like 1 survivor. But beyond this, I feel like in terms of priority, this should be interesting. Is the first skill you would upgrade, because as you can see, this is not just reflective of Goldo, this is not just reflective of Raccoon or Jason Birder. This works for all 3. This affects all 3 of them, just meaning that you will get Captain Ginyu faster. So beyond this, I feel like when it comes to Raiders, and especially if it's Raiders that level up, where it's like a team type thing, like similar to 8 Vegeta, because 8 Vegeta, he shares skills with Nappa, or he shares the Scouter at least. And it works the same way with the Ginyu Force, where they share a Scouter. So I feel like the first skill you should upgrade is this should be interesting. That way you're leveling up as fast as you can. You don't need to take out as many survivors and civilians. And you'll be getting the level 4 as fast as possible. Just adding a lot of pressure on survivors. Now the next skill I think you should upgrade is the Scouter. Just because it is shared from Raccoon to Jason Birder all the way to Captain Ginyu. And the cool thing about the Scouter is not only is the cooldown time decreased, but also the effectiveness of the Scouter is improved as well, meaning that you could find civilians and survivors farther, and you'll be able to use it more often. So I imagine if you max this skill out, I think it will be knocked down to 25 to 28 seconds. So not bad, and increasing the effectiveness of it will actually really help people that, you know, when you just use the Scouter and you just don't find anybody. So I think that's the next best skill to upgrade. Now for the next skill, I feel like you could kind of just go whatever you want, like in terms of like what Ginyu Force member you personally struggle with the most. Because I feel like Jason Birder are fine the way they are, to be honest. I don't really feel like you need to upgrade them at all. I feel like they're a fantastic level 3. Behind Super Boo, that might be the strongest level 3 in the game. I feel like Super Boo is just a teensy bit better just because he has better health, and all of his moves are fantastic and all of them are great. But in defense of Jason Birder, their super attacks are great as well. The Purple Comet Crash is really good. It gives you a lot of super armor. It allows you to deal damage basically for free. Crusher Ball shreds, dude. Crusher Ball absolutely shreds survivors. So they're a very good level 3. But I feel like in terms of Raider, or the Raider level for the Ginyu Force that people are probably struggling with the most, I'd probably say it is Goldo. So if that is the case, you could upgrade Time Freeze. That way you have an escape. If you guys don't know, out of every level 1 in the game, Goldo is the only Raider level at level 1 that has an escape. So his ability is Time Freeze, which basically is not only an escape, but it holds the survivor, whether they're transformed or not, in place, allowing you to land paralysis on them afterwards, using full power energy blast volley on them afterwards, engaging in a melee combo afterwards, shooting ki blast afterwards, or just straight up running away. Sometimes with Goldo, the best chance of survival isn't necessarily fighting and winning all the fights. It's to take as little damage as possible. So if you're getting jumped, I feel like using Time Freeze and then paralysis and just flying away and maybe just like peppering them with ki blast from afar is probably the best strategy, just to waste their dragon changes, because if they're wasting Dragon Changes, buying sodas, and using cooldown drinks very early on, they won't have that for the later stages. So if they're rushing Goldo and not succeeding, honestly, you're not doing too bad. Now, I imagine since this is a level 1 knockback or combo breakaway ability, it's not going to shave off too much time. I can't unfortunately upgrade this ability yet. But once the Raider releases, I'll be able to do so. So it'll probably only shave off about like 5 seconds maximum, maybe 2. But that could be very, very impactful. But beyond that, I think Recoom's kick is very good. It's really good for closing the distance on survivors. I feel like not many people are struggling with Recoom just because he has a fantastic kit. His Ki Blasts are great. His super attacks are pretty solid. The Recoom Eraser Gun has a really long startup, and I feel like I personally struggle with landing it. Sometimes I'm able to land it. People are like grappling away or using a rocket. But I feel like this is a pretty difficult move to attack. But the Recoom Mach attack is also really good for closing the distance, just because look how fast you can go and how far you can go as well. But the Recoom kick is pretty good. I wouldn't upgrade Recoom's knockback ability or his combo breakaway ability or Jason Birders. Just actually, you could do Jason Birders. And, just because it applies to Ginyu as well. So in terms of moves that follow through with other levels, the Scouter does, and this should be interesting does, and Break Strike does, just because as you can see, Recoom has his own exclusive one, which is the Recoom Ultra Fighting Pose. Or what's this? It's the Ultra Fighting Bomber, I apologize. And then this is Time Freeze. So this is not Break Strike, this is not Break Strike. This is Break Strike and this is Break Strike, meaning that if you upgrade this ability and decrease the cooldown for Jason Birder, it will also be decreased for Captain Ginyu. So if you were trying to put points into skills that will apply to the most levels, this should be interesting. Applies to 3. Scouter applies to 3, and then Break Strike applies to 2. But if you were to upgrade any other abilities, honestly, I feel like you don't really need to upgrade any for Ginyu, just because like all of them are fine, unless you were going to do Break Strike and Scouter, obviously. But like I mean his exclusive abilities. Like I feel like power level boost, you don't really need to upgrade. Strong Jersey, which is his kick, you don't really need to upgrade unless you're like, you know, struggling to close the distance with Ginyu. But honestly, if you have Ginyu, you're probably gonna win the game anyway. Let's be honest with ourselves. Ginyu is cracked, and then you can't upgrade any of his passive abilities. Ginyu is pretty unique where all the passive skills besides this should be interesting. Actually, ooh, I didn't even notice Solo Mission here. So Solo Mission, if you guys don't know, if Goldo lives, he will be passively surveying the map for survivors and freezing them throughout the entire match. So upgrading Solo Mission will increase his search radius. This might be pretty good. This might be pretty good. So let's do the rundown here. I feel like the skill that you should probably upgrade first is this should be interesting. And then you could go Break Strike or Scouter. Probably Scouter, just because it applies to 3 levels. So this should be interesting. Scouter. And then either Break Strike or Solo Mission. If you find yourself dying with Goldo a lot, maybe don't do Solo Mission. But I feel like Break Strike will be good just because it allows you to end a combo if you're getting comboed, and it allows you to not take any damage. If you guys don't know, when you use Break Strike, you actually have instability frames. So if you see a super attack coming your way, you can pop a Break Strike and you won't take any damage, which is pretty good for Ginyu since he doesn't have as much health as Boo, Frieza, and Cell, and especially not if he does not have Goldo live. But yeah, guys, I think these are the best active skills and passive skills to upgrade for the Ginyu Force. Let me know in the comments below if you think I was kind of wrong, if you think there are any other skills to prioritize instead. I really do feel like this should be interesting, is the one you should go for first, just because it'll allow you to level up so much faster. And then Scouter, just because it applies to 3 levels. And then Break Strike or Solo Mission if you either find yourself, if you die with Goldo a lot, maybe don't upgrade a Solo Mission. But Break Strike, I don't think Jason, Birder, or Ginyu need to upgrade Break Strike, but it just gives them the option to end combos even earlier. But yeah, guys, again, let me know in the comments below what skills you plan on upgrading first. I feel like I'm going, should be interesting, Scouter, and then honestly, I think I will do Solo Mission, and then I'll do Break Strike last. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what order you will go in. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to the Ironcane channel for more writer showcases, tips like these, updates, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, boys.